do to stop shit like this from happening. I like these Jordans. I'm like, so these ain't no motherfucking good. I gotta throw them away. They ain't no good. What do I have to do? Why can't I keep my Jordans? I don't give a fuck how long it's been. Y'all can look at my ugly ass clothes all you want to. I don't give a fuck. Why? Why do my Jordans, them the common number, why they gotta do that? For what reason? For what? Why? Why can't I keep my Jordans forever? Somebody reach out to Nike, tell them all I want is I just want to get my collection back up, man. I spent a lot of money for these shit. This don't make no shit. Why they got a dry run? I had them in the car. I live in the house. I'm not homeless no more. I got a few dollars. Like, why do my shoes got to do like this? Why after so long do my Jordans got to do this? They got to do it better than that. Because I'm sure, man, Michael Jordan, he's a good guy. I know somebody at Jordan Nike going to reach out to me and they're going to replace my Jordan because They're not. I would like to give all praises, glory, honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rahak Kodash, amongst the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings to the elect, pushing the word across the four corners of the earth, risking your life to do so, especially during these times. I'm the brother Shaman of the Chicago branch of Great Millstone, and yeah, we're in those times, man, where a lot is going to be taken away. Because if you notice the narrative for them putting the National Guard in D.C., they're saying, on one hand, they're saying, hey, all these days, no homicides, which is good. But they're ultimately, they're having soldiers, picking up stuff with garbage bags. Let me see. Here it is. They got them picking up trash. And this person made a good comment. The average cost of a sanitation worker is about $140 a day. If that, which I've done now. I've done that job. It's a horrible job. I don't recommend to anybody, but it said the average cost of a National Guard soldier is $500 a day, which I don't necessarily know that a damn, private would even make $500 a day, but that's going in somebody's pocket for sure. Because when you get into, military, basically they have an unlimited budget. It really is Leviathan. But if you notice, they're using that whole narrative of, man, cleaning up the streets and making everything better. And, really what they did was they just pushed everybody inside or to a different location, and then they're going to spin it and say, well, look, we need to do this in all these cities. And there haven't been any events, at least made public of anything that happened, any major retaliation. But who's to say, what could happen? Who's to say what could happen? Or if this is a mandatory thing, right, which soldiers, according to, was it Posse Comitatus, cannot do civilian police work. Right, soldiers are for fighting and defending the nation. All right, but that's part of Esau's whole MO. Right, a perpetual, because you don't just have a standing army perpetually. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, war is over, and then everybody gets to go home, and then you might have certain watchmen, certain places, certain guards or whatever. But then you would have, in the ancient world, you have walled cities. That's what the purpose of the walled city. You just have guards and stuff. But with Esau, that's one of the things they did. All right, they got the hammer of the whole earth. They got military bases all worldwide. They working 24/7, running drills, doing all kind of shit. All right, but it's all prophecy anyway, so good. But back to the original video, the one with the J's, and most of that shit is synthetic garbage. If you know anything about shoes, originally they had the smart idea, hey, leather, let's do leather. All right, leather goes
Leather goes back to the ancient world. You know, a good pair of leather gloves will run you way better than any synthetic material. A good leather jacket that's maintained will run you way longer than any synthetic material. Because that was what the ancient world. That's what it was. It was one fabric. Like it talks about that in Genesis. Badger skin. It's that strong, tough skin. Hell, even they got these great coats. Like John had camel's fur. They still make those camel's fur great coats, cashmere. You don't see those in style anymore. Great coats, overcoats. Everything is small and synthetic. All right, that's why the old ways were better, man. When you look at those, you know, some of these jakes from 19, 20 and 30, you have to have real skills to put that leather together, to put that boot together. That's why if you're gonna buy any shoes, I would say, like the old folks say, oh, you got them sneakers. Don't buy the sneakers. Get the boots. Get the leather. Right? Because you can always do the shoe over. Re-oil the leather. But the point of the video is Salakia is just a quick side note. You gotta some of the details in the scriptures. They give you some understanding of styles. It talks about those long garments. Right, it's just reading through the scriptures, way more style than now. But anyway, yeah, those everything that these people have. When this chip comes, they're gonna be so willing and so covetous that they'll do anything, right? Even selling themselves and being marked. And for that, it says you're gonna have a sore. You're gonna have a sore. And we always go into that. That's the place, basically you have that radiation in you. Ultimately it's of the Heavenly Father, but that's the cause behind it. Right? And you're gonna be burned in a lake of fire. And you're gonna come back in the kingdom as somebody's son. Right? With shame on you for a long time. Yeah, if you can't see if this man's the devil, like something's clearly wrong with you. And this is Luke 12, because our mindset is, hey, whatever the Lord gives me, that's what I get. I'm not gonna be too high. I'm not gonna be too low. That's the mentality. Things start to ramp up. You just got to work with what you got. It's good to know how to cook. It's good to know how to fix and repair your own shit. That way you don't have to worry about somebody overtaxing you. Just become, being in a more industrious mindset. Because that was one of the ways of the ancient world too. You didn't just have, because you had carts. It talks about that, carts, axle wheel, all of that. But if you was rolling and your stuff broke down, shit, it might be a long way for you to get some help. You couldn't call AAA, so you had to figure out shit. Now this kingdom, these people are so dumbed down, and they just have so much access. You have 24/7 access to the internet. You can call this number, call that number, emergency services and all that. People don't have any survival skills, so when Esau takes all these things away, right? Because it does say, you go to your enemy for the one of all things. Then they're gonna completely just, oh my gosh, I can't live without the system. I need this. All right, that's not the mentality that the Lord wants us in. One of the 4 principles of wisdom and Wisdom of Solomon 10 is temperance. All right, this is Luke 12 and 13. And one of the company said unto him, Yahushua, Master, speak to my brother that he divide his inheritance with me. And he said unto him, Man, who made me a judge and divider over you? And he said unto them, Take heed and beware of covetousness, for a man's life consisteth not in the abundance of the things which he possesseth. And that's a very important lesson, you know, because that's what a lot of people do, man. They'll sign up for the Diddy parties and all this other shit that everybody knows at this point, you know, how to really get on. Right? People still gonna do it anyway. Now we shit, Brothers of Great Millstone, we didn't blow up the spot, man. We didn't did lessons on all of the symbolisms and the weird rituals. We didn't did all that and broke it down every way that the scriptures talk about. Right? You still want that you will still want that fame when Yahweh Shai has not received his fame. You know, you sense that's a covetous spirit. Right? Now the Lord did say, he said, hey, you gonna eat, you gonna drink. When when calamities happen, my servant shall eat. Shit. Isaiah 4:1. Right? And that's really important. If everything's taken away from you, can you still keep your integrity? That's the Job lesson. And it's a difference between reading it and comment, oh man, versus you actually being in that situation, hearing your stomach growling, seeing all the things you work for, and Esau just rip it away. You know, it could be a rough one, man. That's why we constantly have to, you know, keep our minds on the things above, like the scriptures say, the treasure, you know, of wisdom, and not treasures of the earth where like it says, thieves can break in, moths can eat your shit. You know, you got that nice ass coat or whatever. A bunch of moths get in there, and chew up your shit. Like, what the fuck is? Goddamn, it's $1,000 coat. All right, or yeah, like we said, somebody hack into your bank account, do some kind of glitch or something. There's all kind of stuff you could do on the computer, man. The computer, Esau's money is not even real money. That's why I said it in James 5. James 5:2, your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth eaten. Right, because those ancient world garments, like I was going into, they were usually worth money. All right, that's why it talks about that. If you sue your neighbor, if your neighbor sues you, just give up your coat. You know, because we had some fly coats. You see them old school big buffalo coats, sheepskin coats. What's it called? Cashmere. This is lamb. All right, but Esau's shit is done. His possessions are corrupted, moth eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as if it were fire. You have heaped treasure together for the last days. So the richest man has heaped together treasure for his end. All right, which if you completely shut down and destroyed the internet, you know how much money would completely just vanish? How much of it is just a couple of, you know, just megabytes of data on in a computer database somewhere? And then even with that, that shit is still inflated. Right? We're in a recession right now. You know, prices are up on everything. The squeeze is on. And this is all a part of the end. I behold the hire of the laborers which have reaped down your fields. Because you think about all the work Jake put in, it pisses you off, man. My parents working, my grandparents working. Well, guess what? That's what this place is, captivity. It's like, damn, I don't, because they say what the inheritance, a good father basically leaveth an inheritance. We don't. Some of us, some people do, but some of us didn't even receive any kind of inheritance in this place. All right, but at the end of the day, the Heavenly Father has an inheritance for the elect. Gonna inherit the kingdom, man. Get the fuck out of here. All right, back to verse 4. It said, which is of you kept back by fraud. So it's a lot of fraud in Esau's system and how they do everything, man. Insider trading, market pricing manipulation. That's why they kept us out of that lane, for as long as possible. That's why that was part of Jim Crow. They kept Jake from owning even putting your money in the bank. That's where the term money under the mattress come from. Because Jake literally put their money under the mattress. Man, we could keep going and going, man. All the fraud. This place is just full of fraud and lies and deceit. Right? Crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Exactly. And see, the Lord hears the cries of his people. And that's why we have to continue to cry out, continue to pray, continue to bring these things out. I'm going to jump back to Luke 12 and 16. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do? Because I have no room where to bestow my fruits. And he said, this will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. And I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But the Most High saith unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? Did all that just to lose it. Right? This is that person with the many years. They got the barn, they got the big house. Like you said, I have much goods laid up for many years. Man, they got a whole stockade. Now, you got a lot of people with that stuff, man. And a lot of that stuff is going to go to the elect. Take thine ease, eat, drink, be merry. That's the mentality of a lot of our people. That's why Jacob sell out. Look, man, I'm just tired of the hell I'm going through. I just want the easy way. I just want it now. Okay, look, you receive your consolation. Putting off the now. At verse 20, but the Most High said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then who shall those things be which thou hast provided? So is he that layeth up treasure for himself and is not rich toward the Most High. So there you go. You're a fool. Right? You have no works. And a lot of Jake, a lot of so-called Mexicans, Mexicans, so-called Native Americans, so-called Puerto Ricans, so-called Jamaicans, so-called blacks, so-called Haitians, so-called Colombians, Venezuelans, everybody, all the Israelites, all right, then the rest of the Israelites worldwide. A lot of our people are in good positions, great positions, but they're not rich in any works. I was just reading an article because Esau's cracking down on the cartel and stuff. They had the dude El Mayo, who was the head of the cartel, and basically he, is cooperating. They caught him, and basically he apologized. He said he'd been selling drugs for like 50 years. And all of that. That's why the scriptures say the race is not given to the swift. Matter of fact, I'm going to end it with that. One of my favorite verses. All right, Ecclesiastes 9:11. I return. Yeah, the elect in the end is going to pass everybody up. It's not going to matter what you think that you have. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happeneth to them all. And the Heavenly Father has confirmed that time and chance is upon the elect. All right, and we're seeing all these prophecies and tokens indicate that. Hey, when you see these things, time is the end is close, time is up. For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in the evil net. And that fish was just swimming, minding his, oh shit, what the fuck? As the birds that are caught in the snare. So are the sons of men snared in an evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them, and that's the time that we're coming in. All right, they say the days are evil. And when this chip hits, basically every band gonna, if you don't refuse to take it, you're gonna be broke. You're gonna be cut off, and you got to be content with that. All right, that's why we tell men, look, this is not a hangout or none of that shit. Be prepared to lose everything, your family to hate you, turn on you, your wife to leave you, your kids, whatever. Could happen. All right, but men of integrity, they're going to gain all these things back 100-fold anyway. So all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. It's important to know all the different parables of Yahweh Shai too. There's a lot of wisdom and wise saying in those things. And if you notice, the Lord is very succinct. He gets right to the point. His parables ain't too long. All right, continue to meditate upon the words of the Lord. Shalom to the elect.